Alright, everything is set, everything is good. What's up, all my Dragonlings? I am the Dragon God, the Gaming Dragon, and welcome to our Nosleep. Reddit Nosleep. Now, this is basically horror stories that I just want to read and have a little bit of fun with. And that's what exactly I'm gonna do, so let's just get in and read a bit. As you can tell, it's a little bit dark because these are horror stories. I want to do it in the dark. I would have done it later on, but it's 5 o'clock. I just need to read. Alright. This is the first one I'm gonna go to. Alright. I bought my nephew a toy phone 10 years ago. Someone was talking to him through it. Now, that's fucking creepy. Okay, so Jesus. Alright, we're gonna read about one. I would say 2-3 stories, so this will be the first. So, alright. There's no clever way to start the story, so I guess I'll just begin at where I purchased the phone. I work for a company that will remain nameless, and I travel quite a bit. This particular year was the first I'd be able to attend my nephew Spencer's birthday. He was going to be 6. I had called a few days prior to relay the good news. He was so happy and just couldn't believe his Uncle Barry would be at his birthday. That's some shit. The only thing then was to get him something. He wasn't like any of the other kids. His interests had more so to do with old things. You know, antiques such as old pictures, lamps, tables, you name it. An antique collector. Not bad. If I showed you a picture of the walls in his room, you'd think it was a picture of a Cracker Barrel. I thought I'd never find anything until I stumbled into a little shop the day before my flight back home. I don't recall the exact name, but I remember a sign in the window that said a gift for any occasion. Upon entry, all I could see was many various items lazily strewn about the room. It did look like that of a small antique shop, but I saw plenty of modern toys and trinkets in the mix. After a moment, a middle-aged woman with large purple glasses appeared behind the counter. Yeah, that's how you know something's fucked up, when a girl has large purple-ass glasses. "Hello, dear," she said in a sweet southern accent. "What can I do for you today?" I'm about to say, "What can I do you for today?" Because some people actually do say that in the South. I explained to her what I was looking for. She looked at me inquisitively as I spoke, but it didn't seem like anything I said rang a bell. Though, when I finished, she made a pondering expression and excused herself to the back room. After about 3 minutes, she came back in with something under her arm. She placed on the counter what seemed to be an old rotary phone, probably from the 60s. They still have those? We sometimes take donations. Usually you're supposed to come in and do it, but someone left this at the front of our door about 6 months ago, she told me. My dad always loved old things and insisted on keeping it in his back office. Unfortunately, he passed away in March, but I'd be happy to get rid of it. It makes me sad to look at it anyhow. Not only did she want to get rid of it, she actually just let me have it. I was ecstatic as it seemed to be the perfect gift for Spencer. You could see where the old cables was ripped from the back and had dust, stains, and scratches all over it. To Spencer, this was perfection. Not bad. I remember him jumping up and down with glee when I gave it to him. He hugged it to his chest and said it was the best present in the whole wide world. Even my brother Jack patted me on the back and congratulated me on the job well done. I was feeling pretty good, as even his own parents had trouble finding just the right thing for him, but according to my nephew, I hit the nail on the head with this one. If only I had known. Alright. I'm gonna go down a bit. "This was my first reaction," he said, "but yesterday something very odd happened. He asked me and Lila if we were gonna get a divorce. Barry, we never taught him that word, let alone what it meant. We obviously said no, and then he proceeded to tell us about how he knew that we almost got one just before Lila became pregnant. How can he know that?" Now that's when you start questioning some shit. When this kid knows something that he doesn't know. I was quiet for a moment and listened to my brother's worried breathing. What did he say when you asked him how he knew? I knew the answer, but that didn't make it any easier to hear. He said Billy told him. hold on. I'm gonna read back. Jack said that Spencer had an imaginary friend named Billy. Oh, that he talks to the phone. Oh, so it seemed like it's an imaginary friend. But I guess that's not what it did. Though this was very alarming occurrence, I was able to convince him that maybe they had told him about it. I mean, that was the only logical explanation. The thought of someone actually talking to him through a 50-year-old phone that wasn't even plugged in was insane. We couldn't have known then, could we? Alright. In a nutshell, that's how it was. For years, might I add, I would get a frantic call from Jack about the many things Billy was telling Spencer. He knew in-depth details about his parents' first date, how they were with before, and even stuff he somehow knew that did growing up. Jack would be dumbfounded, but just assumed he told him and forgot, or maybe Lila have told him instead. That thing really kept Jack and Layla from doing anything about it was that, aside from how peculiar it was, there wasn't really any harm coming from it. That all changed when Spencer reached middle school. The fucked up thing about middle school. He kept the phone in his room at all times, right on his nightstand. He started to shut off from his friends and didn't talk to his parents much. Anytime they tried to reach out, they were met with one-worded answers and sideways glances. I had a feeling something was wrong when my phone rang at 3 a.m. Jack was screaming for me to get to the hospital immediately and that he'd explain further when I arrived. The entire drive, I could feel a weight in my stomach growing. I almost felt as if I was going to throw up. Damn. When I walked through the front door, I could see Layla in the waiting room. When I approached her, I could easily see she'd been crying. Before I could say anything, she gestured to the bathroom. In there, she said, her voice breaking, "Please, Barry, help." Now, when you get to a hospital and that's what you get, god damn. It's like the most horrifying thing you could possibly think of. That I couldn't even think about how to respond. Even if I was in that situation, I wouldn't be able to know how to respond. I went inside and I saw Spencer up against the wall, Jack a mere inches from his face. "If you say Billy one more time, Spencer, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. So you tell me right now how you knew," he was saying. Once my presence was acknowledged, Spencer used the distraction to slip away from his father and hurry out of the door. Jack went for him, but I grabbed him. "What happened? Why are we here?" I said. Okay, at first he just ranted about how fed up he is with Spencer and that phone. That it's caused nothing but problems over the years and he's about to take it away. It was only when he had finished and calmed down that I got a clear answer. At around 2 a.m., Spencer burst through their bedroom door covered in sweat and tears streaming down his face. He said that Billy told him that his mom's sister Erica had fallen on a knife and was currently bleeding out onto the floor. He knew what room she was in, how she fell, how long she had been there, and even what caused the fall. She had slipped in some water she'd forgotten to clean up while chopping vegetables. They found her unconscious in the kitchen, just like Spencer had said. Despite finding her alive, she didn't make it. She was pronounced dead at 3:45 a.m., June 5th, 2014. Okay, that's when I'll be starting questioning the child, like, what? The following weeks were incredibly unpleasant for my brother's family. I took time off for work to help out, but I don't think I did much. I mainly just kept them company and tried to get through to Spencer. I felt that he resented me more than anyone since I was the one who bought him the phone. After some time, they decided to take him to the doctor for a brain scan. Layla has a cousin who's schizophrenic and thought maybe he had been unfortunate enough to develop the condition. Despite multiple tests, nothing wrong was found. He was able to get some anxiety medication, which did help, but not nearly enough. Damn. And then life went on as close to normal and life went on to as close as normal as possible. Spencer eventually stopped taking his medication, but it didn't seem like Jack and Layla thought it had made much of a difference. He never had another meltdown, but there were days they nearly had to bust down his door to make him go to school. He didn't have any friends, never dated any girls. Even when he entered high school, his behavior changed very little, if at all. I always told myself I talked to him when I got the chance, that I'd reach out and finally be the one to break him away from this. Sadly, I never got the chance. The last call I received about my nephew came a week ago. I'll spare you the details of how the call went, but here's what I learned. Jack was having his usual Spencer won't go to school days, and was forced to kick in the door. When he entered, Spencer was hanging around the door frame of his closet. His belt around his neck, clasped in his right fist, was a piece of paper angrily scratched with red pen. Was falling. I hear him in my head now. He follows me wherever I go. I'm sorry. Damn. As I arrived home yesterday, a package was sitting on my front porch. I picked it up and brought it in to my kitchen table. There was no return address on it. Curiously, I opened it and almost yelped when I saw what was inside. The phone. Damn. With an envelope. An envelope was inside as well, marked to Barry. I so opened it up and took out a single piece of notebook paper from it. My heart was in my throat as I began reading. Dear Barry, I need you to know that I do not blame you for what you gave me 10 years ago. There's no way you could have known what it was capable of. I am so sorry for what I've done, but please let me explain, and maybe you'll be able to understand, as I already knew my parents won't. But that being said, I'd like to keep this between us. From the first time I heard Billy's voice, I was doomed to face this fate. That much was clear to me long ago. I didn't know when it would come, but when I began hearing his voice out in public about a year ago, I knew it was soon. At first, I thought Billy was good, telling me all the dirty little secrets Mom and Dad kept from me. The night he told me about Aunt Erica was when I knew he was anything but. It wasn't something as simple as telling me what happened. He told me one of my relatives was going to die, and I was immediately engaged in a sick guessing game against my will. I took too long to put the puzzle together, and she died because of me. And note, guys, that this actually was an event somebody actually went through. Fuck me. Well, I'm guessing, but it was actually written by a person, and from his perspective, so I wouldn't know exactly what happened. After that, Billy was only telling me stuff that had to do with serial killers, natural disasters, and national tragedies. I could probably tell you the name of every victim on the Titanic. He enjoys whispering them to me as I sleep. Today feels different. I'm taking control and ending this once and for all. When I started writing this, he taunted me, saying I was a coward and could never go through with it. But after a bit, he saw I was serious. I already got my belt ready. He says, before I do this, he would like for you to be the new owner of this phone. My choice would be to destroy it, but I still don't know everything he is capable of, so I dare not go against his wishes, especially if it affects someone other than me. He said to only pick up and listen once, and you'll never have to again. I'll leave that choice to you. I'm sorry, Barry. I'm so sorry. Spencer. With tears in my eyes, I slowly laid the letter on the table. I looked down at the phone and a shiver went down my spine. This is stupid, I thought to myself. It's just a phone. Reluctantly, I put my hand on top of it. Something came over me. I quickly jerked the phone to my ear and actually jumped back at the sound of a dial tone. I picked it up to check for a plug in or batteries, but there was no opening for batteries and the cord was still cut. Even if it had a cord, it would still have been in the box. The dial tone rang out, normally for about 10 seconds before I could just barely hear another sound getting progressively louder. The tone finally started to get quieter, and when I was able to hear the other sound, the hair on my arm stood on end. After a few seconds, the dial tone was completely gone and replaced with that of Spencer screaming and sobbing uncontrollably. Along with him was the crackle of a roaring fire. God fucking damn. Imagine. Now, suicide is never the way out. I've learned that. I learned that long ago, even from my personal experiences. I know exactly how it feels like to, have voices in the back of your head. And no, it was a long time ago. Depression tried to kill me. And in the back of my head, I was like, I'm worthless. I'm nothing. And then but doing it because you feel that people are not safe with you. Wow. Wow. Dude, Barry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to 5 years. How long was that? It's been 15 minutes. That's just one. Fuck me. Alright, if you guys want to hear some more horror stories, ghost stories, then let me know down in the comments below, because this was some shit. And I was just reading it. I wasn't even playing it. I don't know. Damn, man. When a demon takes your head. Fuck me. I can't even imagine, like the thought that must have been going through that boy's mind. Like the emptiness, of someone just telling you, shit that you wasn't even supposed to know. And then people getting in your face like that it was your fault. It's not. He tried to tell people, people wouldn't listen to him. And that's the sad thing of all. You had help. They just didn't want to believe you. The parents should have just taken the phone. The parents should have taken it and destroyed it. Maybe that would have done something, maybe it wouldn't have, but at least you would have known something. Fuck. That gives you something that gives you something to question. That gives me something to question. Because, yeah, that could have been me long ago. And it wasn't because, something was telling me something I shouldn't have. It was my own voice. Telling me that wasn't good enough. But to have something else that's not of your kind, not something that you can't understand, tell you exactly, what current events is, the names of people on the Titanic, natural tragedies, natural disasters, when things are gonna happen, and you know it in stunning detail, that's when you know something's fucking up. So, shit. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this off here. You guys like what you've seen. I hope you don't. Just like the reading. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys like what you see, also hit that like button. And if you guys are new, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon to get notified whenever I upload. It's not normally like this fucking, down, but god damn, after you hear something like that and somebody just, it fucks with you. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Anyway, let me get down to brass tacks. Thank everyone so much for watching the video, and if you guys like it, please smash the like button to show who's boss, and please share and subscribe for the Glory of the Dragon so you too may become immortal. But from Damien to YouTube Land to video games all over the world, I will see you Dragonlings in the very next episode. Peace my friends, good gaming, happy hunting, and I'll see you Dragonlings back inside the world of horror stories. Hope you guys enjoyed today. I will see you guys next time. Some more Damien Dragon action. Peace. And if you guys are ever in need of help, please reach out to somebody. Suicide is never the answer. Ever. Thank you guys. Have a good night, guys.